I have an idea for a story. I would like you to write the story for me based on the idea I'm about to post in here. Please write it in the style of J.D. Salinger as if it was one of the short stories in his book 9 Stories. I think it would be pretty cool to set a story in the future of some distance where some young people come across a collection of music CDs and there's a player there and they have a really good weird giggle listening to the weird music and looking at the strange pictures from the booklets on the CDs. The idea is to make the two periods of time in the story, the time period that the music CDs are from, say the 80s and 90s, and the time period that they're being listened to, which is, like I said, off in the future of some distance. The two cultures are meant to look as alien as possible to each other for the purposes of this story. The title of the story should be A Really Good Weird Giggle.
Title: A Really Good Weird Giggle. It was a peculiar find in an old, musty attic, an ancient collection of music CDs. The dust-laden cardboard box, almost forgotten in the corner, contained relics from an era long gone. Emblazoned with vibrant artwork, these circular discs bore witness to an age when music was confined to physical forms. Two young souls, Theo and Ilera, stumbled upon this trove of antiquities in a world where digital soundscapes had replaced tangible music. They gingerly dusted off the artifacts, marveling at the enigmatic allure of these archaic relics. As they sifted through the albums of the bygone eras, the 80s and 90s, their curiosity piqued, giving rise to an urge to explore the foreign melodies trapped within. In a room cluttered with holographic screens and sleek gadgets, they discovered an archaic CD player, a clunky apparatus alien to their technology-driven existence. With a mix of fascination and trepidation, they inserted the first disc, uncertain of what awaited them. The room was immediately filled with melodies from an era long past, rhythms and beats that danced in a way unfamiliar to their modern ears. Each track was a portal into a world that seemed both bizarre and captivating. As the music enveloped them, Theo and Ilera found themselves succumbing to infectious rhythms, moving to the peculiar beats with uninhibited delight. The CD booklets, adorned with cryptic symbols and vibrant illustrations, transported them further, offering glimpses into the visual narratives accompanying the music. The images, frozen in time, clashed with the hyper-realistic holograms of their present, creating a stark contrast between the two worlds. Amidst the laughter that bubbled up from their shared amusement, they marveled at the peculiarities, the hairstyles, the fashion, the lyrical themes that seemed utterly foreign yet strangely enthralling. It was a revelation, this cultural collision between past and future, a kaleidoscope of emotions mingled with an inexplicable sense of connection. For hours they delved into this sonic time capsule, finding joy in the bizarre, reveling in the absurdity of lyrics that seemed archaic yet oddly timeless. In their shared experience, they bridged the chasm between two distant epochs, finding solace and camaraderie in the universality of music's ability to transcend time and space. As the last echoes of music faded into the air, Theo and Ilera sat in a tranquil silence, their hearts resonating with the lingering melodies. In that moment, amidst the relics of an era past, they shared a profound understanding, a silent acknowledgement that some connections defy the boundaries of time, leaving them with a really good, weird giggle that echoed through the ages.
Please rewrite the entire story and add into the thread of the storyline two other characters that are also there.
Title: A Really Good Weird Giggle. In the forgotten attic of an old, weathered building, a dusty cardboard box lay buried beneath layers of neglect. Inside, a treasure trove of ancient relics awaited discovery, a collection of music CDs, relics from an era when music was bound to physical forms and not just ephemeral digital waves. Theo and Ilera, two curious souls in a world entrenched in sleek, digital landscapes, stumbled upon this cache of forgotten artifacts. The CDs, adorned with vibrant artwork and cryptic titles, bore witness to a bygone era, the 80s and 90s, an era distant and unfamiliar to their modern sensibilities. Alongside them stood Nora, an astute observer with a penchant for the obscure and forgotten. With eager anticipation, they unearthed an archaic CD player, a clunky contraption seemingly from another universe compared to their streamlined devices. With cautious curiosity, they inserted the first disc, uncertain of what sonic landscapes awaited them. The room reverberated with the melodies of a lost age, rhythms and beats that seemed almost alien to their accustomed ears. Each track unveiled a portal into a world that felt both strange and captivating. They found themselves swaying to the rhythms, their movements an unscripted dance to the unfamiliar beats. As the music enveloped them, Theo, Ilera, and Nora delved deeper, marveling at the peculiarities, the lyrical themes, the eclectic instruments, the album art that felt like artifacts from an ancient civilization. The CD booklets, adorned with enigmatic symbols and vibrant illustrations, transported them further, presenting visual tales to accompany the auditory adventures. In the midst of this shared experience, laughter bubbled up, resonating through the room. Their collective amusement stemmed from the absurdity of hairstyles frozen in time, the fashion statements that clashed with their modern aesthetics, and the lyrics that seemed archaic yet strangely relatable. For hours, the quartet indulged in this sonic time capsule, immersing themselves in the strange and eclectic sounds. They marveled at the idiosyncrasies of a world long gone, finding joy in the quirky tunes and visual narratives that clashed with their technologically advanced reality. As the final echoes of music faded into the ether, Theo, Ilera, Nora, and their newfound companion, Jude, sat in a tranquil silence. In that hushed moment, amidst the remnants of a forgotten era, they shared a profound connection, a silent understanding that some bonds transcend the barriers of time and societal norms. With a sense of camaraderie born from their shared experience, they exchanged glances, acknowledging the inexplicable connection forged through the universal language of music. Their laughter echoed through the ages, a really good, weird giggle that bridged the chasm between two distinct epochs and left an indelible mark on their hearts.
Could you now please write another section equal in length to this one, and this should be like a subsequent episode of the same story, yes, edit 10 years into the future where some different people find the same collection of music but have a very different experience listening to perhaps a much more negative experience this time.
Title: Echoes of Dissonance. 10 years had passed since Theo, Ilera, Nora, and Jude had uncovered the forgotten musical relics of a bygone era in that enigmatic attic. Time had woven its tapestry, and the world had evolved further into a realm governed by ever-advancing technology and fleeting trends. Yet, fate had a curious way of looping back upon itself. In a world now shaped by even more futuristic innovations, a different set of seekers stumbled upon the same collection of ancient music CDs. These seekers, Jackson and Maya, bore no resemblance to their predecessors in disposition or outlook. Jackson, a cynical skeptic of anything remotely out of the ordinary, was joined by Maya, a fervent believer in the power of progress and modernity. The dusty cardboard box, hidden away in the same forgotten attic, appeared to have defied time itself. As Jackson and Maya gingerly sifted through the aged relics, they discovered the very same CDs that had enthralled Theo, Ilera, Nora, and Jude a decade ago. However, unlike their predecessors, their encounter with these relics would not be one of wonder and amusement. With skepticism etched upon their faces, Jackson and Maya encountered the archaic CD player, a remnant of a past that felt increasingly incongruous with their tech-savvy world. They hesitantly inserted the first disc, unaware of the discordant symphonies that awaited them. As the music began to play, an eerie dissonance filled the room, an unsettling cacophony that clashed with their modern sensibilities. The melodies, once vibrant and captivating, felt jarring and discordant to their ears. The rhythms were alien, the beats disconcerting, leaving a sour taste of unfamiliarity in their mouths. Unlike their predecessors, Jackson and Maya found no joy or connection in these echoes of the past. Instead, the music seemed to evoke a sense of unease, stirring emotions they could not comprehend. The CD booklets, adorned with cryptic symbols and antiquated illustrations, appeared more ominous than enchanting. They found themselves trapped in a narrative of disquiet, the visuals painting a bleak picture that clashed starkly with their technologically advanced reality. The bizarre imagery and lyrics, once intriguing, now felt haunting and unsettling. Laughter did not fill the room this time. Instead, an uncomfortable silence pervaded the air, an unspoken tension lingering between Jackson and Maya. The music had cast a shadow over them, evoking emotions of discomfort and foreboding. For what felt like an eternity, they endured the dissonant tunes, their experience marred by a sense of dread that lingered long after the final echoes of music faded away. Their connection, unlike the camaraderie shared by their predecessors, was one born out of a shared discomfort and a haunting experience they wished to forget. As they left the attic, Jackson and Maya carried with them not the fond memories of a shared journey but the unsettling echoes of a past that had stirred a dark and unsettling resonance within their souls. The music, once a bridge between eras, had transformed into an eerie echo, leaving a lingering sense of disquiet in its wake, a stark contrast to the laughter that had resonated there a decade ago.
And now what I'd like to ask you to do is write a final little refrain to the story, but it's a prequel and it tells the story of the person who owns that collection in their own time, and it's just a little bit of a detail that plays into details that were incorporated into the other sections of the story.
Title: Prelude, Echoes of a Collector's Tale. In a quaint and unassuming apartment nestled within the city, there lived a solitary figure, Oliver, a recluse with a penchant for collecting relics from a forgotten era. His abode was a sanctuary of nostalgia, adorned with remnants of the past, a sanctuary where time stood still amidst the relentless march forward. Oliver, an enigmatic soul with a passion for the obscure, had amassed a collection of music CDs from the 80s and 90s, each a treasure trove of forgotten melodies and visual narratives. His fascination with the archaic tunes knew no bounds, and he cherished these relics as windows into a world lost to time. Among his prized possessions lay the very same collection that would later captivate the hearts and minds of Theo, Ilera, Nora, Jude, Jackson, and Maya. The CDs, meticulously arranged in a weathered cardboard box, bore testament to an era when music was a tangible experience, an era that Oliver held dear amidst the whirlwind of progress. The artwork on these discs and their accompanying booklets, with their cryptic symbols and vibrant illustrations, were not merely artifacts to Oliver. They were pieces of a puzzle, each telling a story that transcended the constraints of time, a tale of creativity, cultural nuances, and the human experience. As Oliver carefully catalogued his collection, he couldn't help but wonder about the futures these relics would find, the hands they would pass through, and the connections they would forge across the ages. Little did he know that his cherished treasures would become conduits of shared experiences, bridging gaps between distant eras and forging connections among souls yet to cross paths. In the solitude of his sanctuary, Oliver sat among his collection, his heart resonating with the melodies of the past. He felt an inexplicable kinship with those who had once created and cherished these tunes, an unspoken bond that transcended time and space. And as he sat there, lost in the echoes of a time long gone, he couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation, a whisper of the future, where his treasures would find new homes, new listeners, and new tales waiting to unfold. With a wistful smile, Oliver imagined the stories yet to be written, the laughter, the camaraderie, the strange and sometimes disconcerting experiences that awaited those who would stumble upon his cherished relics, unaware of the threads that connected them to a recluse with a deep appreciation for the echoes of the past.